This is a tool you probably won't find in most modelers' toolboxes. It's a horse hoof rasp. I can't lay it flat this way because it's too wide a surface. So what I'm using is the corner to establish the pitch, because to me everything about carving a propeller is going to be based off the pitch. Some things to notice here as I'm going back and forth: if this propeller, the block, balsa block, rocks in my hand, I'm going to get a curved cut with my file. The other thing is it has to be square to the prop, this edge, and then I can work my way down and get that transition of the pitch over the length of the blade. What I do is, this corner is going to get cut off. See how it's starting to get rounded? I don't care about this corner, but I do still care about these corners. That's what I'm establishing this to still. So I'll get a firm grip on the center of the prop. Here's how I started roughing this blade in. Square it up to the end, so I'm always referencing off this end. Move up into this area here and raise this edge off. Hold it firm, and now maintaining that angle, because if I cut through at an angle like this, that's a different pitch. It's exaggerated, but it has to be square, okay, from this edge to this edge. So pick up your squareness, raise the edge, hold it firm, and as I'm filing, as I go down through here, I have to turn this with my hand. So I use this horse hoof rasp for the single reason it's the coarsest rasp that I have. It doesn't have to be a horse hoof rasp, but any flat file that has a really coarse side will get you there quicker. Now just a flat file, again pretty coarse, but quite a bit smoother than this. It's going to get rid of all these fuzzies. So same thing, same idea. Work my way down the prop, watch the corners, don't let it rock in my hand, keep checking my squareness, and this is the result that I'm starting to achieve. I'm not there yet by quite a bit. You won't be able to see this as good as I will, because I am looking at the light underneath this roller. My light's right up here, but I can show you a little bit exaggerated. See how that's rocking? It's close, it's real close, but I want to get that flat surface. Look right in here, fair amount, right? But I want to get that flat surface. This will be my final filing, but it's really like semi-finishing because I'm going to finish it with the edge of my sanding block. But this gives me an indicator that it's still not flat. See the balsa piling up? So I can kind of go down through here, keep rotating the block, and I can take that high spot off with pretty much confidence. I'm not hitting here and here because I don't see any balsa wood coming off of that file, in front of the file, pushing in front of the file. The pitch is the most important part for a nice, accurate performing prop, but specifically the pitch on the back side. If the pitches are different, one is going to be loading more than the other, and it's going to tend to shake. So I'm going to finish this up, and I'll come back and show you my result when I get to where I'm satisfied with it. There is my surface finished to my satisfaction. My last filing. That is a nice flat transition all the way down. I am really out to my corner, both sides. So that, for me, gives me a nice accurate pitch all the way down through here. Do the same for this, and they will have nice balance between each other as far as the pitch of the prop, loading it, and it running without shaking. Next would be to sand that. You can see there's some small ridges, real fine ridges from the file. So to sand it and to take that out, it won't be much. I use a nice sharp aluminum sanding block, and I'll do a zigzag hatch cross pattern, same way I file, with this tilted up slightly. And this doesn't take much to go down this surface like this, back and forth, turning the block in my hands to match the pitch, and end up with a really good finish and a nice flat transition throughout that pitch, because I'm that close with the file. Get rid of all them fuzzies. You can do this, go down the length of it, back up, but I'm still sanding with that edge, and that's why I need a sharp edge like that to do that. So that will be, I'll need to do that, and to both blades on the back side. There's another area that I fuss with, and that's this radius right here. It's why I maintain these lines. So this is my center hub right here. So when I was initially with my cuts, my saw cuts, I didn't go all the way to the corners from about the 3/4 of an inch point into this hub here, knowing that I need this transition and I want to keep my full hub thickness. I don't want this cutting into my hub. For that area, I kind of just like roughed this out, carved it. You can see it's not back to the corner, and I don't care, because that will get cut away when I do this, cut this area out of the backside. It's going to have, means I'm going to have an angle. You see I've reestablished these marks here on this face out to here. I was actually using the marks in the center part of the blade to keep my file square on my final filing. So I talked about that early on, maintaining the marks, lots of reasons for it. But this area in here, this radius, is only going to be from where my knife edge is, straight line to this corner, because that's going to get cut away. This radius needs a transition from the full thickness of the center hub to where I ended establishing a nice accurate pitch. So that's this raise right here. So I'm just carving it out with my knife, my hand. I will also sand it, and just a transition into that pitch right in that area there. Here's the area I'm talking about on a finished prop. It's this radius right here. So about 3/4 of an inch out. This is where the backside cutaway part, this flat on this edge of the blade, full hub width, and a radius transitioning up to the hinge line. So that's what that is. Just something to know. Don't make those saw cuts all the way into the hub, is what I'm getting at, to this back corner. You'll cut into that area where you need that radius. So I need to sand this, do this other blade, and then we'll get into cutting the airfoil on the backside. But I got lots more to do before then. I have the final sanding done on both pitches. Pretty happy with how they turned out. At the end, after using the corner of the block, sanding that as close as I can to these corners, I do a final sanding just with a piece of sandpaper in my hand. I have the template cut out. Gonna go on the prop blank like that. This is the front of the prop, so I'll be lining the leading edge up like so and positioning this so that I get my full diameter, my 16-inch diameter, and line up that leading edge. If I turn it over and look, if I cut down this line, I won't get my cord. So I didn't remember exactly right, and or Ed Lamb has an excessively wide cord, which I want to use on this prop. So I'll position it like that, line up the leading edge, line up the tip, and then I will project a line from here down to the hub. And I have also been remembering incorrectly that I would be carving the backside to the prop block dimensions, and that is not correct. I will be carving the airfoil. It only makes sense to the template. In order to get that airfoil correct, I need to cut this out first. I have the blades laid out, both of them marked with pencil. I'm using reference marks on the template. So those are the marks lining up with the center hub. I have my leading edge lined up. And there's that mark where the radius ends. And then I've projected this line down here to the center hub. Here is my new angle that I'll be cutting to, so I don't lose this cord. So now I feel confident enough to cut this pattern out on my prop block. Looks like I got some more work to do.